So Luke Rockhold made a comment basically indicating that he wants to return against Paulo Costa. He says, Paulo is a guy that I don't like and I think disrespects the sport and motivates me to fucking correct it. I think it's a fun fight. I think I can go show him the door.
I mean, like, I'm not a big fan of this fight. Paulo's coming off of losses. There's not a lot of hype around him. I love the Strickland fight. The Strickland fight to me is the fight to make. I don't know why he's calling out Paulo. I mean, like, I don't know. It just, there's no reason to fight him. He doesn't.
And there's
make
no
weight.
reason if you're Sean Strickland to fight Luke.
Well, they'd already matched. I know, but they'd already matched it up.
And what did Sean? Sean already went out and fought another fight against Hermanson, gets a win. Luke Rockhold is in the rearview mirror. I'm just being honest.
The UFC wants to see that fight, so it doesn't matter where the UFC. No matter, doesn't matter what Strickland says. He's already said he'll take the D.
He already said
he'll take the D, whatever
I'm a company
Dana
man.
D is.
I'll suck that D.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. He'll take the D.
This is true.
It's just lips and butt, right? Lips and hips is what you said. That's what.
And lips are lips, and hips are hips.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if Sean Strickland will take the D, let him take the D. Like, he's gonna take the L probably against, I think, Luke. I think Luke gives him the L. It just,
which is why you, being the homer that you are, go, I don't like this fight against Paulo Costa. I like the Strickland fight because you think that your man in Luke Rockhold has an advantage in getting a win against one over the other.
Let me ask you this, John. What Strickland has, is Strickland beat a former champion?
Has he beat a former champion?
Has he beaten a former champion?
No.
I don't think so. So what do you mean? Like, this is something. Where is Luke Rockhold? Luke Rockhold's ready. He's a former champion. Let's see you beat a former champion. Let's see if you can do it. Like with Paulo Costa, like he's coming off 2 losses. And whether you call me a homer or not, I'm a very good matchmaker, by the way.
Excuse me. How many losses is Luke coming off of?
It's true. Time away, though. Okay. Time away. Former champion. There's one thing you can't take away from people is that the fact that he can say former champion.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Yeah. And I think, 3? Is it 3?
No, 2.
No, he got a win in there against David Branch. Yeah. He had a loss before that, too, where he lost the title.
He did.
So he lost to Bisping, he lost to Yoel Romero, and he lost to Jan Blachowicz when he went up to 205. So let me break this back down. He lost to Bisping, who was the champion, who actually beat a lot of other people after he beat
first off,
Luke.
Bisping wasn't the champion. Luke was, and Bisping had never been champion when he won that fight. In fact, Luke disrespected Bisping like a motherfucker, saying that he didn't even belong in the cage with him. I can tell you he was in the back fucking just like, this ain't shit. I'm going to walk through him.
John.
Just being honest.
I know.
It was a mindset.
I understand what you're saying. I didn't say he was the champion. Then I said he beat some other champions after he beat Luke. I said after that he went on and he won a couple more fights as the champion.
Yes.
That's what I said.
Yes,
you got
you're
a little
right.
hot and heavy. You got a little hot and heavy too fast, buddy.
Hold on a second. I apologize.
There it is. I was like, bro, what are you doing? Why are you yelling at me right now? It was like I felt like I was getting a text message all in caps.
Way to go, Fish.
David Branch, he had a win over David Branch. He didn't look good against David Branch, though. Luke didn't. Remember, he got pieced up in the first round a little bit.
Yeah,
I was like, what are you doing?
But then he turned it on.
He turned it around. I know he did. He did turn it around. I get it. Then he fought Yoel Romero. Bad matchup. Power, explosiveness. And then he went up to Jan to fight Jan at 205.
Power,
explosiveness. But the thing is, you look at it, right? Yoel is one of those guys that's a tough fight for everyone. Yoel's a tough fight for everyone.
Yes.
So at that time. Then you look at Jan. Jan became champion right after that. Jan, he started becoming champion. He made his run.
Jan was on a run.
He was on a run.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to take anything away from Luke. Now you're going to tell me that Sean Strickland's fought someone as good as Yoel, someone as good as Jan?
I'm not saying that he has fought the quality that Luke has, especially if you're going to look at those last 5, 6 names. Luke's got it on him, no doubt about it. As far as who's got the credentials in better names, Luke is. That's why he was champion. But when you're sitting there looking at this and going, Paulo's got some names on his too. All right, he's got the names, and he's got a win against Yoel.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so he's got, you know, Johnny Hendricks and people like that on his resume also. Yeah, he's got the losses, the last couple, you know, especially the one to Izzy didn't, you know, he just did not look good, and Izzy just, you know, took it to him. But you look at this fight, I don't think it's as bad as what you're thinking. I think yes, Luke at times gets too much into being a stand-up guy because he's slick. He's a technical fighter, and he's got beautiful kicks. He hides them well. He's got power on him, but his ground game is what made Luke Rockhold who he was.
Mm-hmm.
People underestimated Luke's ground continuously. It's almost like that Gegard Mousasi thing. They don't give him credit for being as good as he is, and Luke on the ground is good. That dude is phenomenal on the ground, and there's a huge difference between his ground game and Paulo Costa's ground game. So if I look at this fight, I go, this is not a bad fight for him. I understand why he's calling him out. See, I'm on your guy's side. I kind of like it. Yes, he can get knocked out by Paulo. He absolutely could. And if he decides to just keep this thing on the feet the whole time, that might just happen. But he has
get knocked out by Strickland too. He can get knocked out by Strickland.
Absolutely.
Also.
But he has a clear path to victory against Paulo Costa. He's just got to make the fight go in that direction. Is he smart enough to do it? Yes. Will he do it? That I can't say because he's a stubborn, prideful sumbitch. And he wants to prove things.
I understand what you're saying, but I think, look, if you're Luke, knowing that you're the former champion, that people can make their name off of you, and if you want to have someone that you're going to jump right into title contention, he's not getting any younger. Paulo Costa's going the opposite way. Why are you calling him out? Pick out the guy that you were scheduled to fight against Strickland.
But this is the norm. But this is the norm for the UFC is they like to take guys that have one loss or two losses in a row, put them together so they get one of them back on the winning side. Strickland's on a winning streak. He hasn't been beaten. And so I just don't see them going back to that fight. I think Luke looks at it the same way.
I don't know. I think put yourself in that Strickland fight because I think it's going to be a little bit easier to take Strickland down than it will be to take Paulo Costa down and hold him down. If you look at when Yoel Romero had a hard time getting Paulo Costa down and was having a hard time with the explosiveness and keeping him down. And so if I look at the fight, I look at if Luke gets Strickland down, I'm sure he's going to have a hard time. I get it. But I think he beats him. I think he beats him on the ground. I think he's able to get him down, once or twice.
I think he beats either guy on the ground.
Yeah, on the ground.
It's if he decides to keep it in the stand-up, becomes a different scenario.
But see, that's the thing to me also. I think even with Strickland will walk forward, and except for in his last fight, he will walk forward and deliver shots. He'll leave himself out of position.
Strickland was walking forward.
Not in the last fight. Remember, he stayed a little bit more on the outside. No, in his last fight, it wasn't an exciting fight, John.
You're right. He didn't march Hermanson down so much because Hermanson
didn't throw a lot
right there. He didn't throw enough, but he definitely got the win.
No, I didn't say that. Don't make me out to be the bad guy.
I'm not making you out to be the bad guy. You just are the bad guy. There's a difference.
It's all the gray in your beard. Everyone just thinks you're like Santa. It's not fair. It's not fair.
I might be like Santa anymore.